What's going on, everybody? Today we are going over a little bit different one. We're going to put ourselves in a scenario, a what if scenario, a hypothetical. If we could only do one workout for the rest of our lives, and Alex and I are actually going to put some parameters on it. We only have 1 hour max. Let's just say maximum. What would that workout be? We can only do one for the rest of our lives, man. I'm curious to hear what movements you would pick, what kind of workout you would do. What do you think?
So what I am starting out with is this is tough, man, because I'm gonna start out with legs, right? And I'm structuring this as like supersets. I'm gonna try to hit the full body and I'm gonna do supersets. And you know, I one thing I want to put in, I would probably do. I love squats, but like one of my favorite exercises is alternating like reverse lunges. Alternating reverse lunges. I think I would start with alternating reverse lunges, and I would superset that with uh, RDLs
Mm,
and just like two leg RDLs. Whether that's and I'm assuming that I can either do barbell or dumbbell, but in my house here I got dumbbells. So that's my first superset in my exercise or my routine is going to be that. What is your starting thing that you're
mm. I'm very similar. So I was like, okay, what am I going to do? I'm going to start with the biggest bang for my buck. I'm going to do a squat, some sort of variation of squat. Doesn't have to be heavy, but I want to be able to include squats in there just because if I'm only able to do one workout, if I want to get the most carryover, like, so if I want to work my core, if I want to work tension throughout my upper body, if I want to work stability, if I want to work awareness, body awareness out in space, like balance, all these things, I can get the biggest bang for my buck with the squat, and you're using the biggest movers on your body. So I think that's, I'm right there with you. Is like, okay, how can I maximize the lower half? And then for me, I just enjoy squats. So specifically, I would be like, it's funny you said lunges, like a reverse lunge, like that's, I don't hear too many people like saying that they enjoy lunges, like a lot of people, it's like, is there anything else we can do instead of lunges? Or like, it's because they're tough, man. They're hard, right?
yeah.
They're challenging. And so the fact that you like them shows this, like, okay, this guy's a little crazy. Because a lot of people try to avoid a lunge in some way, shape, or form. They're like, can we do something else? Like, for no other reason, not like an injury thing or anything like that. It's just like they just want to avoid them because they're tough. And I will say lunges is one of those movements where, like, even when you are consistent with the lunges and box step ups is another one too, where you're just like, dude, you're gonna feel those the next couple of days. Like you're gonna
Yeah.
be smoked. So if you're picking effective workouts, like props for the lunge. That's great. I almost want to do so. I would do squats. That's my first one. And I would do more. I would treat them more like a compound lift. Like I wouldn't necessarily superset them with anything. I'd probably save my accessories for something fun at the end. That'll probably be later in the workout. So I would structure mine just slightly different than what you did, but that's just for me, man. So
Yeah.
that's our first start of our workout there.
And I like why I really like reverse lunges. It just you can first off I mean it builds the butt, right? It builds the
Hmm.
calf, but also you can structure that technique in a way that you can do like kind of switch around your technique so that it hits more quads if you
Totally.
want to. Right. So you can kind of do that. And I just love an RDL. I don't know. It's
Me
one of my
too.
favorite exercises. Obviously, going to work the hammies and the whole backside. Also works the back a little bit. So you're kind of hitting
Hmm.
that in the form of a deadlift. So that's why I'm doing that. I'm just going to, like, okay, going into my second one, I'm going to do a superset again. I'm just trying to hit everything, right?
Yeah.
I'm like trying to hit the whole body in the most efficient way that I can. And so I'm going to do an incline press um, you know, given what I have here, let's assume I'm doing it in my house. I'm going to do an incline dumbbell press, and then I'm going to superset that with a um, pull ups.
Nice.
I'm going to do the back opposite muscles so that I can kind of get the most bang for my buck out of those. I love the incline dumbbell press. Definitely my favorite chest movement, and uh, and then the pull ups is just you're gonna hit that hole. The best way to hit the. I can also weight them. That's why I like
Yep.
that. I
Yep.
can add a dumbbell in between my thighs and be able to get like them weighted. So I'm gonna get more out of them as I progress and I get better at them. Being able to add more weight is gonna help me there.
That's more so where I was thinking for my next moves. Like, what can I do weighted? So I think two of the movements that I would superset go back and forth with, and they complement each other. They're going to be extremely beneficial in terms of, again, continuing on with that full body would be pull-ups and dips. So I would superset those. And more specifically, like the dips could change variation too, like more on like parallel bars or a matador setup. That's
Yeah.
fine. Ring dips, like things like that. But then also being able to wear a vest or pinch weight between yourselves, like between your legs, you know, some sort of weighted variation. And then a vertical pull as well too, whether it's pull up, chin up, mixed grip, like whatever. I even like using these I forget the brand name of them, but I have handles that go up and do like neutral grip that you could just hang up on a pull-up bar, which are great. And then I have another set of handles that kind of go at like this 45-degree angle. And I just love mixing it up and like hitting those instead of just always using the standard pull-up bar like a overhand or a chin-up grip, but like being able to mix those grips up and hit different areas. You'll notice like when you mix different grips up, some of the pulling variations are a little harder, some of them are a little easier, and it kind of just depends on the individual, you know. But yeah, I do a weighted or unweighted vertical pull, pull up, chin up, and then a weighted or unweighted dip variation, whether it's
Yeah.
rings, matador, whatever. So that would be my next superset. So I'd go squats into a vertical pull, vertical press, just because they completely complement. And again, they have a lot of carryover. You're not just working and isolating one muscle group here. So that's what I would do.
I like it. So we're kind of on the same page here on this second one for pretty similarly. And whoever, when you're listening, comment what your workout would be, and see how it aligns with ours. Obviously, at this point, you've seen a few of ours, but what curious on like the end how it lines up with what you would do as
Yeah.
well. Next up, this is where I would go into. Fuck. This is like I'm trying to think of. Yeah, like I think
It's
that
tough, right? Because you could do so many things. So it's kind of just like if you can only do one workout, it's like, okay. In my mind, I'm thinking like, how do I cover the most shit? You know, like
yeah,
how do I get everything in here?
I'm doing two more. I'm going to do two more supersets. So the first one is I'm going to do a bicep tricep
Hell yeah.
superset here. Just you got to have some fun, right?
You
If I'm
gotta
doing
have
this
some
for the rest
fun,
of the
dude.
time, I'm hitting fucking tries.
100%.
My favorite bicep workout is the alternating like bicep curl with hold. So holding at the top and just like
Oh
you
yeah.
wait one arm gets up before you bring the other arm down.
Like an ISO hold. Yeah.
I love those ISO holds on
Hmm.
bicep curl. So I would do those. And then tricep, I would do oof. I'm thinking what I would do because it's gonna hit like not only the triceps, but it's gonna be another way to hit a little bit more chest, would be those like those like
Close grip.
close grip
Yeah.
like with dumbbells. That's going to hit the triceps, but it's also going to hit a little bit more chest too. So like I'm
Mm.
getting like more of that inner chest with that triceps, and so I think that is going to be my bicep tricep superset before I go into the last superset to finish it off.
Yeah. Cool. And I kind of like tried to, you know, two birds with one stone, so to speak, to already kind of get my biceps and triceps in my second movements there with
Yeah,
the pull up, especially chin up variation, and then the triceps and the dips too. So like from here, I would say I can kind of just have some fun. So it's just like, I mean, I don't think I necessarily include like a core specific movement because your core kind of gets covered in those first movements, especially the compound lift.
yeah,
Um, but I would do somewhere where I feel like I'm always constantly weak at, and that would be my shoulders. So for me, it's just like, especially like with vertical pressing in my rear delt specifically. So I would maybe do, let's see. Oh man, it's so hard. I would, I guess since I'm already pulling vertically, I would change my plane and pull horizontally and do that and work my back a little bit differently, be able to target the post delt a little bit more. And so I do maybe like a incline, a prone incline row. I think I would do something like that, like a dumbbell prone incline row, just because, and I could maneuver the angle of my elbows to do lighter weight to make it more like, and flare my elbows out a little bit more to make it more like rear delt. And then I could do, bring my elbows in a little bit closer to hit the lats a little bit more. So there's a lot of variation in that. So I think I would do that. And then I would superset it with something that's just fun. I like doing like a combo. So this would be like a RDL on a plate. This would be a feet elevated, the balls of your feet elevated, dumbbell RDL plus calf raise. So RDL, complete the RDL, and then stand up, hold the calf raise, and then so just doing a combo there. That I love that movement. To your point, I love the RDLs. I love doing calves too. That's like one of the accessories that I love. So I would do those two, and I think this might be cheating, but I would throw in what I have all my clients do is I give them some flexibility within their accessory work is I throw in a wild card. So like I basically structure their entire workout, and then one section in there I give them like, so they would have those two movements, and then they would have a third movement in that circuit or in that superset where they could pick whatever movement they wanted. So that's what I do is I put a wild card in there to give me some flexibility. But like as far as the structure of the entire workout, if that remained the same, yeah, start with the back squat, go into some sort of vertical pull, chin up, pull up, whether it's weighted, dip variation, same thing, matador ring to get that vertical press. Got a lot of chest, triceps in there, got a lot of lat and biceps, grips, forearm. And then I would go into being able to manipulate, depending on the day, the angle of the arms and the weight on the incline prone row, comboed with the RDL calf raise. I got a lot of flexibility there, and then a wild card. That's kind of like what mine would look like.
Well, I like to do. So mine, again, it's the reverse alternating lunges into the RDL. And then I go incline dumbbell press with pull-ups. I can obviously change the variation there.
Yeah.
I got the alternating iso bicep curl with the close grip dumbbell push-up or press for the triceps. And then what I'm just finishing off with is a shoulder press with a ab rollout.
Nice, dude.
Work the core a little bit more, finish it off. That's how I'm doing it. And let us know, guys, what you guys would do in your only workout you could ever do for the rest of the time. And we're excited to see what we see in the comments here from everybody.
Heck yeah.
We hope you enjoy this one. This is fun. It's fun to think about this and to kind of piece together what we would do. And it's kind of funny. I'm sure like if we did this 2 months down the road, it might even change. Like
it'll probably be different. Yeah, it could be different. Yeah, who knows? It's hard. It's so hard to pick one, man. That's why I wanted to throw that little cheat code in there and do the wild card, so I at least have some flexibility with one movement in there, but the rest of the structure and the skeleton remains the same. Because there's just so many movements, man, that are awesome, that are fun, that keep you going. That's things you should look forward to. And that would be my advice too. Is like if you guys are designing your own workouts, or you're collaborating with your coach and you're following some training programs, make sure that you have a little bit of flexibility in there, because part of this is remembering to have some fun with it too. And like you mentioned, the movements that you like, that just the iso hold with the curl combo, like dude, stuff like that, where it just like gives you that low hanging fruit stuff to look forward to. Like, okay, I maybe have to do this stuff because I don't feel like it, but I know it's beneficial for me, but I got some low hanging fruit here at the end of the workout, crush some biceps or tricep. Like give yourself something to look forward to would be my advice, man. So hopefully that was helpful for you guys. Again, like Alex said, throw it in the comments. We want to know what your guys' workout is. Would you change things? Would you do things different? Would you share some of the movements that we did? We'd love to hear from you guys. And if this was beneficial for you, share it with somebody that you know, like, and love, that could get some benefits from it. And we will catch you guys on the next one.